Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Well, hey there, Bible study fans. It's time for Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro, and today we're looking at verses 5 and 6 in Psalm 10. This is the place you come for fresh and delicious Bible study that's artisanally made, organic, and responsibly handled. This is Daily Dose Radio. Today we're looking at Psalm 10, verses 5 and 6. Now, yesterday we began with the definition of the wicked man. I told you we're going to have 14 different things. Well, yesterday we did 1, 2, and 3. Today we're going to do 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to have 4 of those things in just 2 verses. So it's loaded. It is so loaded. And we want to jump right into this, so let me read for you verses 5 and 6. His ways are at all times prosperous. Your judgments are higher than he can discern. He puffs at all of his enemies. He says in his heart, I will not slip forever. Forever there will be no evil. Well, that's verses 5 and 6, and I read my translation, but I think I'm going to change slip to be moved. It's that idea. You're not going to slip and fall. I will not be moved forever. Probably King James has be moved, and that's okay. That's a good translation. I will not be moved forever. Forever there will be no evil. Okay. So immediately, last time, the very first thing that jumped out about the wicked man was his pride. He boasts over his soul's desire. The wicked according to the pride of his countenance, there in verse 4. So pride jumps right out. And his pride is fueled by the very first in our list today. His ways are at all times prosperous. Why would he change? Why would he ever consider any other way than the way he's on? Because he's making money. He's making bank. He is so wealthy. And of course, we see this still today, don't we? The wicked, who are they today? Well, they're the wealthy. They're the rich ones around us. And there's something about the combination of wealth and wickedness that they just seem to go hand in hand. I wonder why that is. Why is it that the wicked seem to be so well off? And of course, David deals with this in other places in the Psalms. Again, this is a part of the problem of evil in the world. Why is the wicked man doing well? He addresses it again in Psalm 73. I told you yesterday or the day before. Psalm 73, probably my favorite address on the subject of evil in the world, the problem of evil in the world. The fifth item here in our list is the second phrase there in verse 5. Your judgments are higher than he can discern. So the wicked man may be prosperous, but he's not able to figure out God's ways. He's not that smart. So he can figure out his own ways, and maybe he's smart enough to figure out the ways of his own enemies. But figuring out God's way, no, he's not able to do it. God's judgments are higher. And so they never enter into his mind. He doesn't even contemplate them. Number 6, he puffs at all of his enemies. You know what it means to puff. When the wicked man says, ha, that's a puff. He's laughing within himself. It causes that sort of visceral motion of the lungs and the throat. He puffs at his enemies. So again, what's that come from? That comes from the root of pride, which is in his heart. And then the last thing in verse 6, this is the 7th of our items in the list. He says in his heart, I will not be moved forever. Forever there will be no evil. So this is the first of 3 verses where we hear the wicked speak. We have that again in verse 11 and then again in verse 13. We hear the wicked man speak. Well, this is the first time we hear him speak. And what he says is, I'm never going anywhere. Nothing's going to happen to me. Notice the last phrase, there will be no evil, which is, I will never have any recompense for what I'm doing. There will be no payback. Harvest time will never come for me. You see, again, where does that come from? That comes from the pride in his heart. He thinks he's going to live forever. He thinks he's going to be prosperous forever. He thinks he's going to escape the high judgment of God, but he will not. So tomorrow we'll look at verses 7 and 8, and we'll look at the 8th and the 9th items in our list that describe the wicked man. So I hope that you'll join me then here in the Bible Bistro for Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.